That's it. That's the one I wanted. Man, he has got some weight. And I'm going to class that as a pretty big Tassie squid. Well, it's an early start in Tasmania. We're at one of the most famous windlane fisheries, and that is Lake Burbury. I've just found a big slick in amongst these bays. There's a few fish rising and I can't wait to put a few flies in front of them. So I'm using my electric so I can approach the fish quietly. There's a few fish sipping in this wind lane. There's one just out here. I'm trying to get my flies, you know, a couple of meters in front of the fish. I've got a couple of little midge patterns on, which I think that's what they're feeding on. And hopefully I can get one to take. So important to get your target acquired before you cast at it. So I'm just going to wait for that perfect shot. They're very, very subtle rises, but I'm just looking for the difference in the waves. The waves are very uniform, but when the rainbows come up, they put a ripple in the different direction, and that's what you're looking for. There he is right there. There he is. Oh, that's a big fish too. Got him. Oh, I missed him. Missed him. God. Pulled it right out of his mouth. That was silly. Nice sized fish too, God. It just shows the excitement of this style of fishing. Like, you get the cast right, but it's the anticipation of that fish eating the fly, and I just pulled it straight out of his mouth. I just cannot take a trick this morning. I've had some really good shots. They said there was going to be a lot of fish down here. I'm just amazed at how many fish are in this slick right at the moment. Come on, where'd you go? Another one there. Just looking at this fish mooching on the top here. I've got a quick cast at him, but I've lost sight of him now. And it's such a ginormous lake, and you really wonder how you're actually going to find the fish, but these wind lanes or slicks are so easy to see even from a mile away. So that's where all the food gets congregated, and that's where the fish are going to be. There he is. You can see that nose poking out. There he goes again and again. He's a moocher. Why? Why? I don't believe that. Why did he? Why did I have to pull it out of his mouth? Oh my God, that sucks. So that fish ate that bigger dry, so I'm going to swap over. I've got a couple little nymphs. I'm going to keep one nymph on and change to a bigger dry. Hands are shaking trying to get the knot and line through the eye of the hook. Just love sight casting at fish, and Tassie's just famous for this dry fly trout fishing, and it's no wonder it's so cool. Alright, let's get out there. A couple of them, is there? Can't really see where he went. Why didn't he eat my fly? Got him that time. Just had to wait. Wasn't sure where he went. He'd come down. He'd been coming up that wind lane. He'd come down towards my fly, and I just thought I was going to put it out there. I couldn't quite see where he was, but just going to wait, and then you could just see it go. Finally got him. Got one to eat, and he's not a bad fish at all. Such a spectacular place. I've heard so much about Lake Burbury and the Windlane fishing, and it is a truly wild location to come and catch trout. And that is a spectacular fish. Get the net underneath him. They're a really, really dark fish from this lake. Check out this fish. Tasmania is known. Oh, hey buddy, come on. Tasmania is known for its dry fly fishing, and to be able to come and catch a truly wild rainbow in such a spectacular location is what makes Tasmania so special. Finally got one to stick, and I'm just so stoked with that one. I'll get him back in the water. Super feisty. This water is just jet black. Amazing country. Amazing fish. And you can go back and keep eating those midgies or mayfly, whatever you're eating, buddy. Come on, off you go. Off he goes. So I really like a 10-foot rod for this style of fishing, fly fishing out of the boat. My lead is 16 or 17 feet, so not only does the 10-foot rod give you good control when you're casting your flies, it also gives you good control when you're bringing the fish in because it's that bit longer. It's incredible to think that the bag limit at Lake Burbury is 20 fish. You can only imagine how many fish there must be in here. So a couple of things I'm doing to make the whole process easier. I'm going up to the top of the wind lane or the slick, and I'm working down with the wind. And that's easy because you're not fighting against the wind with the boat, and it's so much easier to cast. The other thing I'm doing is I'm having the fly ready in my hand. So it's keeping it out of the water. Because you're fishing a dry fly, you don't want it wet when you present it to the fish. So if you keep it out of the water, it'll be dry and it'll be ready to go when you need to cast. And I think I can see a fish out there mooching away now. He's a moocher. Oh, what a cracking fish. Wow, that was a good eat. Very slow take, but that's not such a bad thing. The last thing you want to do when you come out sight casting on dries is strike too early. I had a bit of a brain fade there. Whoa, look at him go! What a fish! Oh, bit of a brain fade there. I wasn't sure whether that was my fly that he just charged on, but it certainly was. That was epic. How's the backdrop? Look at it. Oh man, that is a corker of a fish. Whoop. Tassie, you are just so good. Here he is. That was so much fun. He's off again. just coming up. I just saw the little bit of a head and tail rise, and it's such a good fish. Here he comes in. I just can't believe how bronze these rainbows are. Check him out. The water is so tannin, but these fish, they know exactly what they're honed in on, what they're eating. Oh, don't want to net him too quickly. Come on, buddy. I'm just going to take my time. There he comes. That is a nice rainbow. Awesome. That's what I came to Lake Burbury for. I'd heard so much about the Windlane fishing here and how spectacular it is. There he is. This is the fish that I came to Lake Burbury to catch. Stunning wild rainbow. Settle down, buddy. I ate that cloud hopper so well. I think it's time to get him back in the water. He's still pretty feisty. Get his bearings back. Trout are funny. Not many fish like the water going back through their gills, but trout do. Usually just gets them going again. They give a bit of a kick, and away they go. That was epic. We're back in the prime Windlane, and it's so obvious why the fish are here, because there is so much food in this bit of foam here. And as soon as you get back to the prime Windlane, there's a fish just mooching his way up. Eats it. Ah, I got him. That was weird. I thought I'd dropped him, but he'd actually eaten it and just done this huge launch. That was incredible. Just can't believe the acrobatics of these fish. It's just mental. I thought I dropped him. Check him out. That was epic. Dry fly fishing. Just can't believe how aggressively they eat it and how fast they move. And that just went charging out of the water. That was so good. Come on, buddy. Totally thought I dropped him. And then he jumped and everything went tight again. I had him on. Here he is. Yeah, loving that. On the claret again. It's been an epic morning chasing fish in the wind lanes. If you're coming down to Tassie, I can't recommend enough getting out in the wind lanes, getting those drives in front of these beautiful rainbows. It's just so much fun. Lake Burbury, spectacular location. It's insanely beautiful and truly wild, and these fish are just spectacular. All right, dude, you can go back in. What a morning. He's right to go. Off he goes.